Hi guys, and welcome to another studio vlog. It's been a while. I think it's been, almost a year since I last recorded a vlog. Well, the funny thing is I've actually been recording content on and off, but I just never had time to actually throw it together in the video editor and actually make a proper vlog. But I finally found some time to do it, so here we go. Part of the reason why I haven't had too much time to make new vlogs and things is just because I've started attending conventions for the past year to sell my artwork. It's also been an interesting challenge for me because I'm kind of a socially awkward person, so talking with people and making small talk and those sort of things, but it's rewarding meeting people and seeing how they react to my artwork and just hearing their stories. And I always enjoy seeing cosplays, and when I have the time I also cosplay myself, and it's just all around a lot of fun. It's a really big help to have Alex there with me because he's much better at talking and communicating with people. So when I'm feeling too shy to actually talk that day, he's always there to kind of help me man the booth and meet and greet people. So if you're like me and you're a bit awkward in person, have someone with you who's good with people and can help you communicate. So I finally broke down and bought one of these things, which is a corner cutter. And let me tell you, this is wonderful. I know it was kind of expensive, but it saves my hand and my wrist a lot of pain from individually clipping things with the, let me show you what I used to use. I used to use one of these to clip it, and this motion over and over again was really pulling on my wrist here and cramping my hand, so that's why I went down and got one of these, because my wrist is worth more than me being cheap. And the other nice thing is that this can cut multiple things at one time. So I got my new little art booklet zine thing, and I want to cut the corners because I cut corners. That sounds bad. I don't cut corners in the figurative phrase, but I like to round my corners, just because it'll look less messy when it's dented. When it gets dented from being carried around. And it's just it goes with my brand, right? Everything in my brand is bubbly and round. So I think it can do up to 3 books at a time. Ooh, this one's really badly cut there. I'll have to fix that myself. But let me grab ones. I think the others are all okay. I don't know what happened with that one. So what do I've got here? Got 4 books, and I'm using a card here just so that it doesn't really dent it too much. And voila! Look at it! Look at it! Ta-da! So this is actually one of my favorite parts, is the inside covers, because it's a collection of little doodles from my sketchbook that are not necessarily tied to a product or a sticker or anything that I've made, but they're just kind of cute things that could turn into future stuff. This is actually from the spring pepper post-it notes I do make. So yeah, there's a little intro about each puppy, with some artwork that I haven't released as a print before, but it is artwork I made for Instagram. And then I have a couple of pages of some development sketches of pepper and sugar drawings over the years, from when I started my pepper and sugar characters in 2020 to 2022. And this is artwork for the pins that I made for pepper and sugar for the first cons we went to. And I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but I have the sketches for some of the designs that I was thinking of before I went with the final artwork. So you can see that this one they kind of have different hats on. This one's a different pose, but I eventually went with that one. So each page has, you know, kind of like a behind the scenes of the sketches. So this is the artwork that I made for the shirts, and I also put them on totes. But it also, you know, talks a little bit about why there's Tagalog phrases on some of my stuff. So a little blurb on that. So pepper and sugar Halloween, and here again there's like the behind the scenes sketches. Some of them didn't make it to the sticker sheet or the art print, but you can kind of see, like, you know, some rough artwork in the background. Same with this one, you can see, you know, the rough sketches. I do a lot of the times I sketch in my sketchbook and then take a picture of it and finish it in Procreate or on the Cintiq. But sometimes I do just directly sketch on the iPad, so you can see these are more direct sketches on digital. Whereas, I'll show you. So this is another print. These I actually didn't release as prints yet, but they were artwork for the ornaments I made that I had like 20 of each design, and like you can kind of see the rough sketches I did for that. These I definitely did in a sketchbook and then took a picture of them. And this is some of the newest artwork I made for Pepper and Sugar, where it's like, you know, kind of vibing to some music, and they have like opposite headphones. And then I've been thinking about doing this for a while, but this is kind of like a face reveal, I guess. These are the real Pepper and Sugar, my dogs. So just a little bit of information about them and cute pictures. And a thank you page. So that's it. All in all, it's about 24 pages of artwork. So I'm thinking maybe like $10 each for this, with the stickers that I'm going to pack it with. And I'm also going to sign each booklet on the front page. And yeah, hopefully people will like this at the con.
Drip, drip, crying face. Give you a kiss, kiss, I'll be okay. Drip, drip, lemonade. I need your kiss, kiss to be okay. Every time I'm getting closer, I tend to put myself away. Reality is much farther, and life is hard to play this game. I don't want no even news. I can
So this is the first time I've had 11 by 17 poster prints made, and the reason is most of my artwork is not really designed to be printed this big or at this aspect ratio. Most of it is like 8 by 10 at the most. But I specifically made these 11 by 17 prints to be this big. And what I'm doing right now is I'm putting a little sticker with my Instagram handle and my shop URL on the back of the posters, because the last thing you want someone to do when they get home with your art is forget who they got it from, especially if they really liked your stuff, right? Like, you might give them a business card, but if the business card gets separated from your artwork, like, you know, how are they going to remember? Especially if you were at a gigantic con with like tons of people. So, I mean, I know this has happened to me a lot where I've bought artwork from artists and like I could not for the life of me remember who it came from. And they did a little bit of a mark down in the corner like I did, you know, so it's not too obtrusive to the artwork, but like I could not figure out who that was. So that's just something that, you know, I take from my experience as a customer that I want to ensure I apply to my own artwork. And what I'm doing here is I don't really have like a folio for 11 by 17 prints because, like I said, this is the first time I'm doing something this big. So what I did was I took my 11 by 17 presentation book and I put up to about 5 prints per page. I think I'd seen someone else doing this at a con where all other stuff was just stored in a portfolio book. And then, you know, when someone buys something, one of these prints, I'll just pull it from here. But also, because I know there's only 5 per sleeve, that as I finish the sleeve, I know I've sold at least 5, right? So yeah, these are the 2 prints I have. I'm super excited with how they came out. They came out nice. And like, the paper they printed out was nice too. I got this done at a local print shop, and I encourage you guys to not only support your local print shops if you have one nearby, but also because I've noticed that they tend to be cheaper than your online retailers if they're able to do at least what you want. So definitely try to find someone local. The only thing is that, you know, your local print shop may not be as easy to submit work for. Like, they may not have a functioning website. You may have to email them directly or call them, you know, drop by their office. So that's the one barrier to maybe a small local print shop. But for the most part, your customer service experience is going to be much better. They're usually really nice, and if you're trying to do something new, like a book or something, they're usually like super helpful in helping you figure out what you need to do if you don't already know. So I encourage you guys to check out your local print shop. Now for these, I only ordered 25 of each. I don't know if that's too much or too little. I actually don't tend to sell a lot of prints. That's why I only ordered 25, and I feel like that's already a lot. Because I usually only make like 10 of each of my prints, and I have maybe only sold out of a couple of designs, and I've been selling them for over a year, so. But I don't know if that's because, you know, I've been going to smaller local cons. The one we're going to Tampa this weekend, that's like my first like out-of-town con, but I also think it's going to be way bigger than anything we've had locally. Or at least I think it was, because I've been to this con a really long time ago as just like a normal attendee, and it seemed like it was a really big event. But who knows how it is now, because I mean, I went maybe like 7 years ago? I don't know, it's been a really long time. And like, I joined like a Discord with other Artist Alley sellers. I can link that below you guys are interested in it, because they are really kind and helpful, and a lot of them do this full time, so they're able to answer a lot of your questions as well. And like I said, I only do this part-time and I don't know that much stuff, so I always have a lot of questions. And it's like cool because they've been to some of the events I've only heard of, but I've never been. So I'm able to ask, you know, like, how is it? Like, how is this event? You know, how's the traffic usually? So like it kind of helps me figure out how much inventory I should probably bring. I don't know. We'll see. I have yet to like have an event where I'm like, oh, I sold out of everything. That never happens to me, even if I don't have that much stuff with me. But like I said, I don't know. I've never been to what I think is a bigger out of town con. So who knows what could happen. I am excited and a little worried and anxious at the same time. Because for one, we can't bring everything, and we also can't come back home if we forgot anything important. So we have to pack efficiently and figure out what can fit in my little car. Okay, I have a decent sized car. It's not like super tiny, but like it's not gigantic or anything. Plus both of us have to fit in the car with our luggage, so like, I was watching people pack like all of their stuff in 2 suitcases, and I'm like, how in the... But I mean, like, I guess they're selling mostly prints and smaller things. And like, my main thing is that like I have a bunch of pillows that I sell, so it is quite a lot to carry. What I did this time was I'm going to unstuff the pillows that I already pre-stuffed. I know double the work, right? But it would reduce a lot of the space they take up in the car. And then I'm going to pick up stuffing at a Joann's that is local in Tampa and restuff them when I get there. Or as needed, I guess. Usually, like at the beginning of the show, I try to have like 2 of each on display and then refill it as I go. And I like selling the plushies even though they're a bit cumbersome because, you know, it's something different than a print. If there's people like me who collect too many prints that I just keep them in books now, like it's kind of nice to have something to support the artist and remember them by. It's different than just a print. So here we go. We are all packed with the 11x17 prints ready to go. So after the last con, we decided to not hang the pillowcases from the the tripod thingy, and we are going back to the cube display for all of them. There is a limitation on how big I can build this, I think. Like if I go any taller than this, it might be a safety hazard, I don't know. I don't want it to fall and like hurt anybody. Mainly it'd probably fall on me, but you know, you never know. So I decided to go back to something similar that I had at one of the other cons I had. It's important to practice your display so that not only are you able to set up faster if you take pictures and references, but also, you know, you'll feel a little bit more confident when you set up. You'll figure out what's wrong or what's not working or what's not clear. And if you don't have the space, you know, you can always try to do like portions of your display to see if it works. But I think it's really helpful to do it just so that you're also sure what you actually need to take to set up your booth, and that you don't take unnecessary things or you forget something that you actually needed. So when you arrive at the convention, you each have your own loading times to get set up, but the loading line for this one was a whole ordeal. I was pretty much in line for about 3 hours and I almost ran out of gas, and I was bored and alone in my car, so I was just doing all these weird Instagram stories, just trying to entertain myself. And I was like in the first loading group too, so I don't know when the last group of people got in. I also didn't realize you could just park and carry your stuff in, which is probably what I should have done since I only had 3 carts worth of stuff. This was my first time visiting this venue and attending a larger convention, so it was a learning experience, I guess. Baby's first big out-of-town con! Woo! Yay! Step 1, check that the table is actually set up properly. I kid you not, the last con I was at, these legs weren't fully extended on one side, and this person's whole booth at the end of the con fell over. So every con I go to, I intend to record vlogs while I'm there, but I either get too busy or too shy to be caught just like talking to myself on camera. So here are some pictures of how it went. And here's my favorite photo of someone who was visiting our booth. I actually took the picture of the booth just to record what the display looked like this time, and didn't even realize this adorable kid was having this moment in front of me. Yeah, her reaction is priceless and makes what I do worth it. And for those of you who are curious, this is what the back of the booth looks like. I keep all the pins in those little bins, and because we had a corner spot this time, I had space to set up a separate rack just for the totes, and I stored them behind it. And for the stickers, I use this jewelry rack thing to kind of put them in all the slots, and it makes it easier to pull them when someone buys one. While I'm at the con and it's slow, I usually do these little 5-minute doodles. So it's literally what it sounds like. I just take a Sharpie and doodle for 5 minutes at a time. I'm not quite confident enough to do commissions just yet, so these 5-minute doodles that I do on my own are kind of practice for drawing in that busy environment. And after I finish the drawing, I put it out on the table for $5 a piece, and if anyone's interested in taking home one of my little doodles at the con, then there it is. While I don't officially take commissions, I've taken commissions for 5-minute doodles a few times when people asked, just because, you know, it's a 5-minute doodle. Expectations are low, so it doesn't make me as nervous to make them, especially if I have lots of examples of what my 5-minute doodles look like, so that people kind of know what to expect. Actually, most of the 5-minute doodles I've gotten have been to do a 5-minute doodle of people's OCs, which is interesting. I'm always a little nervous that, you know, because it's their OC, it's something special to their heart, and I hope that I make a good drawing and like don't offend them in any way if I draw it bad. I don't know. This is why I'm not officially set up to do commissions yet. I just worry too much. For those of you who've made it to the end of the vlog, thank you for watching till the end. It's been a while since I've vlogged, so hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a little mix of what I make and some of my experiences at the conventions and what I do to prepare for them. I hope in the future that I can record more vlogs at the cons and maybe review some of the manufacturers I use to kind of help out other artists who are trying to do the same thing and are looking for more information. So look forward to that. And if you want to see what I'm up to on a regular basis, please follow me on Instagram at Kawaiistarz, because that's probably where I'm the most active, either just by posting stories or new artwork that I've made. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!